rather than viewing nature just through this lens of expensive or cheap, are there any examples or other ways of looking at nature that you think would be very helpful to helping us overcome this cheap, expensive divide or limiting perspective?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the example of salmon, Matt. I mean, I think one of the ways that we can reconnect and transcend this nature society divide is by understanding that in fact we are part of the web of life, and there are some societies that do that very well. The Capitalocene rather than the Anthropocene is to be able to point the finger at some humans who are responsible and caught up in capitalism as we are, but then also to say, look, well, there are civilizations outside capitalism that are valuing relationships with other beings in the web of life. So, for example, the Coast Salish people in what is now the sort of boundary between the United States and Canada have a salmon festival where once a year you have this sort of moment where where the first salmon is coming up the stream to spawn, and it's caught, and then it's celebrated for days. The entire village will celebrate the return of the salmon people and celebrate the treaty. And in that period of celebration, no one else is allowed to fish, and so the salmon return and spawn and reproduce. And then after the celebration is over, then it's not open season, which is precisely the wrong term, but it is a moment then to be able to harvest the salmon, as many as one needs, but not as many as perhaps one would like to take to empty the river. But that sort of respectful relationship to other beings in the web of life is an entirely different one from, oh, look, here's society and here's nature and here's us acting on it. It's a way of understanding our relationship to other beings as one of being a peer rather than one of being able to say, well, that salmon's cheap, we're going to take it for nothing. And what's interesting about this story is that it doesn't involve money at all. This isn't about expensive food or cheap food. It moves in a way that's orthogonal to capitalist modes of valuation, and in fact helps us transcend, again, this nature-society boundary.